I've not used this before, so I'm just trying it out.
Hey man, it's been too long since we sat down and that just feels wrong. Allow me to give my head a shake, open my eyes and fix a mistake. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit a rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Hey buddy, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. My door's open, so come on in. This was great, let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Hey ho, we're back. What's going on? Bringing the four, the classic four back.
Toybiz. That's us. Me, you, and then me and
Yeah.
you. That's
Double time. Love it.
How you
We're doing
buddy?
double time. Oh, buddy, I couldn't possibly be any better. What better way to spend a Saturday night or a Saturday morning than talking our classic, not only toys but cartoons? And
Yes.
I've got a.
This is
There's a
official
bit of
season 3 material. We're taking a
Right.
different break. This is a new era of Toybiz.
Yeah, it sure is. And it's not only just a new era of Toybiz. For me personally, it's a new era back in those years of me stepping out of being a kid playing with toys and starting to become or not an adult. I think it was this 94?
94,
What
yeah.
are we looking at here? 94. So I'm stepping into teenage collecting years. I'm turning 14. I'm no longer playing with toys like I was when I was a kid. When I saw the X-Men stuff, and I'm gonna miss the X-Men, the classic orange carded X-Men anyway. But when I got those toys, and before that the Thor and a couple of other Marvel characters, but when I got those X-Men figures, I was still like that kid mentality. I was like, I've got these toys. I'm gonna have some adventures with these toys.
Yep.
And now I'm talking about collecting them. Am I going to keep them on the card? Am I going to display them? How do they go with my comic books? You know, what are the definitive toys? Like, we've got options now, and it's not just that we have options for everyone, because there's probably a lot of options for everyone. But I'm now at this age. I'm out of that small town where I could only get what I could get, and
Right.
I'm in a big city now at this age. And I've got comic book stores and action figure stores, and I'm able to pick the things that I like now and not just take what I can get. And I think this cartoon. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off. I must rude with me.
It's all right. We're an hour-long show. You keep cutting me off. It's all good. But I think at this stage I'm at a point where you know what? I forgot where I was going with that. Adam, you go.
I was gonna say, what was your first figure you left on card that you ever bought that you left on card?
It was a Fantastic Four, Invisible Woman.
Nice.
And it was only because I think it was Wizard magazine or Hero magazine or whatever. They told me it was valuable and rare, but I just wanted an Invisible Woman because you can't have a Fantastic Four without one. And
That's where
so
you got
I'm
your picture.
yeah, I'm still trying to find it. I've asked my brother if he's got it. He's got Mum's photos at his house, so we'll go through those and we'll see if we can pull it up for the next episode. But
Perfect.
it was. Yeah, I mean, it was a different time. It was now, I had in my room, I had all of my comic books all bagged and tagged. I had all my action figures displayed as I wanted them. I had all these pictures of Marvel things that I got in magazines. At this stage, I think they were still talking about a Fantastic Four movie potentially happening.
Right.
So I had all of those pictures up on the wall, like that costume of the Thing from that movie. The images that they showed. Now I've seen the movie. It's not good, but the Thing's not bad. The
think
thing's
that
not that bad.
especially for '94. Now, the first I heard of that Fantastic Four movie was it wasn't released in theaters, as you know, but on the VHS for the Captain America with the rubber ears, like the 1994
Right,
Captain
yeah.
America. The trailer for Fantastic Four was on that VHS.
I think that VHS was the last VHS I ever bought. I found it for $1, and I was like, I gotta have it. And DVDs were already out when I found it, so and I never found it on DVD. But it was like $1 for a VHS. I'm gonna take that. Yeah.
We've never talked about it, but I remember watching that Captain America movie, like renting it on a Saturday and watching it and being like, I love this. Like, I love seeing Cap in all his glory. I loved it all.
Yeah, I did. I honestly enjoyed that movie, and I don't know whether or not it was because we didn't have anything else, but I sincerely did enjoy the movie. I thought that Steve Rogers was pretty good. I thought the Red Skull was a little bit different to the comics, but at that stage, everything was different to the comics.
But
right?
Red Skull,
Nothing
the beginning
stuck.
of that movie was comic book.
Oh yeah.
And then they
Right.
modernized them, and I'm like, well, that works for the story they're telling.
Right, but I think they made him Italian, though.
They sure did.
If I recall correctly. Yeah. But still, I love that movie. I love the Masters of the Universe movie, and I can't remember who was talking about it in our group chat. Probably you. But someone saying that there wasn't a good movie. I was like, it was a good movie. I liked that movie. I liked it then. I like it now. I think we just, I think we just like to hate things as adults. Go back and go, oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. Speaking of dumb, we got people here in the chat. Toys and grown-ass men. Yeah, buddy. I don't know about grown, but we're definitely ass men. Wait. Anyway, Gaz was here. Let's go. Let's do it. Fandom Power Podcast. Wes, how are you, buddy? Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you.
Just down the road. Hey, Wes, how's it going?
It's good to have you here, Andrew Davis. Thanks for popping in. Kiwi, how's it going, everybody? Got to be late for you, mate. Smash that like button. Cheers, muchacho. We appreciate it. So this is a passing of the torch. This is a new era of toys. The toys I loved, the cartoon I loved, but it was now like I'm not a kid playing with toys anymore. I'm collecting them because I'm a collector now. I've stopped calling them toys and I've started calling them action figures, and I feel like we as 80s kids, and I'm sure it was the same where you were, is that we were constantly battling whether our parents or people who didn't understand our collections saying, oh, you play with toys or you have toys. I was like, no, these are action figures, right? And we would stand and die for that, right? We'd be like, these are action figures. These are not toys. And now you hear, it's different terms for them now. But I will always say that.
Even still, the conversation. That's a better way to say it. Remains. So, like, even like you've been in my office and you've seen my office. People come in. It's like, how do you get any work done with all these toys around? And I'm like, well, I'm not sitting down having battles with with the GI Joes.
Right.
And my answer is like, I can't imagine working in an empty, boring room. Right?
Yeah,
like
and it helps keep you motivated by having something.
Motivated.
Yeah, it's better than looking at a brick wall. And I've been in that office, and I was distracted. To be fair, I was definitely distracted. Oh, Scout Call! It was a Skull Cowboy 333. I stick with the old stuff because the newer movies and so on are just not good to me. It's a mixed bag at the moment, right? I think Marvel.
No, go mixed bag.
I think the Marvel movies they started off strong, and as if I had these movies as a kid, I would have been so happy. Like mixing all of them together. I think the best we ever got was the Incredible Hulk, where like Thor and Daredevil would show up.
Right.
But having all of these childhood heroes come together, it was the pinnacle of childhood coming together and for like a dream come true. And then the dream starts to fizzle a little, and it's like, well.
That being said, though,
And Lilith is here. How are you?
Look at
Thanks, and good morning.
Look at this
Freaks and mutants and androids and mole people and squid beans. Oh, Squid Bean. That was the name of my high school metal band. And whatever else fits in this amazing fun clubhouse. Thanks, buddy. Sorry, babe, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, have you seen the trailer for the new Fantastic Four movie coming out?
I didn't even know they released the trailer.
Oh, yeah. So I'm like Marvel fatigue with the movies right now. Like they're really...
Right.
Deadpool and Wolverine was fun, but that was more like a loving goodbye to Fox and everything they tried to
right.
do. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Fantastic Four trailer, man, it takes a swing. It's a
Okay. I've seen
them
snapshots.
It's clearly them from like a different timeline or universe. Like it's in the multiverse era. So it's definitely them in a different world. And I think that they're gonna, at the end of their movie, come to the MCU universe. I think their world's going to be destroyed. I think it's going to be destroyed very specifically because in the trailer, they're in the top of the Baxter building, and look out the top window, and out the window. I don't know if you've seen the snapshot. There is a very comic book accurate Galactus head, like
not a big cloud coming over the
purple domino mask. Hat,
yeah.
And Reed Richards just looks over at him. So, like, I think Galactus is going to eat their world. They're going to come to the MCU timeline world, warn them of the oncoming Galactus, and then that's going to be the next big movie is the Avengers against Galactus is what I think is going to happen.
That's cool. I like that. I've seen the snapshot of Galactus close up, and I suppose that's the one. I feel like Galactus just keep walking over me because I keep getting the shadow. That must be Galactus looming over my shoulder. Might switch the lights up in a second. But yeah, I've seen that image of Galactus. I think that looks great. Yes, please. I wonder if people would be just as happy if they swallowed up the current MCU, and then everyone jumps over to the Fantastic Four's universe. Where
Steve Rogers is still alive?
Oh, why not? Dare I say, why not?
I think that he was the heart of the MCU. We need him back. We need a little more Steve in our lives.
True, I agree, and I also agree. I just hate all the agendas of it. Yeah, yes, correct. Remember when movies were just for fun and not for an agenda? On a good note, I just got the final Skeletor I was looking for. Huzzah! Perfect.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, which one was it? We're hoping to bring back Mo Tuesday soon in an all-new adventure form, so we'll see what's going on there.
The new adventures of Mo Tuesday.
And Andrew Davis getting ready to start a YouTube channel where I open up boxes that are 29. Oh, I'd watch that. Yeah. I can't remember what's in the boxes. I'm in. Count me in, buddy. I'm in.
Nothing incriminating.
Yeah.
It's just all shredded documents taped together like in Batman Returns.
While I fix this lighting issue, and I don't know if it's gonna fix itself or not, but let's answer this question. How do you guys feel towards Kang being out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I think we live in a weird era where actors' personal choices are affecting story as opposed to just being recast, especially in a world where people have been recast. The Hulk has been recast. War Machine has been recast. Like major characters have been recast. Why do we care that one actor is... No,
recast.
Yet with Black Panther, they were doing like a farewell and a respect to Chadwick Boseman, and that was a tragedy. That wasn't his fault.
Right.
So, but even there, like, I don't want to be the jerk and be like, that second Black Panther movie sure could use some Black Panther in it.
Look, I know what you're saying, and I feel this way about the Kang situation. It's that how many other characters have come and gone without explanation in the MCU?
Absolutely.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like the leader in the Incredible Hulk. What happened to him? We don't know. Is he coming back? Maybe.
I hope so.
Like, you know what? Who was the big bad in the Incredible Hulk? Abomination. We only just got to see him again after how many years?
And total character change.
Not for the best. I thought his character design was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I guess the real thing is, like, could they bring it back around? And how invested were you in Kang anyway? I think they did enough good things with Kang in the Loki series where everything else now is going to be diminishing returns. Like they did enough in the Loki series. They did too much in the Ant-Man movie, but he was in it. Let's just let him go now, right? That's it. We don't need him anymore. I don't even know if they're going to bother trying to explain what happened to him. Do we care? I don't know. Doesn't bother Wes though. Never invested in the character. And the flip side is the age-old question: how do you separate the art from the artist? Boom. Correct, Mondo. Correct,
that's where West is worth every ounce of the gold that guy is.
Yeah, he's worth his Wes in gold.
Worth your Wes in gold.
That's put that on a T-shirt.
I'm gonna write a book about how to be a great YouTuber called "Worth Your Wes in Gold."
Yeah. And look, see, Leader's finally back. Cool. So he might come back. Do
you think it's gonna be misdirected? And they're like, we mean the leader of the nation of America.
I mean, what are they going to do with the leader anyway? I don't know. Let's just wait and see.
I'm very happy. This is a hot take, but in both Brave New World and Thunderbolts, we're getting more U.S. Agent. I love U.S. Agent. I love Russell.
Yeah.
Like he's so good in that role. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm a big U.S. Agent fan from back when he was in, I think it was West Coast Avengers.
Yeah.
But I love the outfit. We've talked about the toy. Such an iconic look. The original look, so iconic. And I think they did it pretty good.
Yeah, I thought
the show.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was the best of all the Marvel TV shows.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that Brave New World will be a Brave New World into the MCU. Deadpool, I think it was a good goodbye to Fox. But I'm hoping that this new world will be a legitimate new world. And Red Hulk, I mean, come on. That's got to be cool. She-Hulk, though, get out of here.
If
Garbage.
Is a fan of Wyatt Russell, the actor playing the new U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
There's 2 movies you need to watch, and he's not even in the first one.
Okay.
But you need to watch The Goon with Sean William Scott. It's like a Canadian hockey movie. But
yeah, I've seen Goon. Yeah.
Yeah, you will laugh the entire movie. And then there's a sequel, Goon 2, and Wyatt Russell is the villain in that movie, and he does a great job.
Right, I have not seen Goon 2.
Yeah.
What we do need is a Goonies 2.
Ooh, can you imagine that? They're all old and like work selling insurance.
Should have kept some more of that one-eyed Willie treasure.
All their treasure's been squandered on like Blockbuster stock and Enron.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we don't need it after all. Oh boy.
Well, you want to get into this
anyway?
buddy?
Yeah, we're gonna talk some Toybiz. What's going on? This is a Toybiz show, isn't it?
Toybiz, yeah. So we're gonna do a little history here, just for those who are joining us for the first time. That Toybiz started in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, as Sharon Toys, and they had a division of their company called Toybiz, which was for international sales. So if you were a young lad in Canada, you got a Sharon toy. If you were anywhere else in the world, you got Toybiz. And you can see here an example of a Canadian carded Bob the Goon versus a internationally carded Bob the Goon. Ironically, the international version has 1 language and the Canadian has 2 languages. And so then we had this long line of Toybiz action figures. We had 3 waves of DC, and then 2 waves of Marvel, just generic superheroes. Then the X-Men came in and kind of changed everything. And something we're going to get into today is that the X-Men line was not a animated series line. It was just a line of X-Men comic toys. And
that's right.
To the point where in the later waves, you would see comic accurate X-Men figures with the tag as seen in the animated show, but they weren't. It wasn't actually an animated show toy line. It was a comic book toy line. And then we had some more lines of Marvel. Then we had X-Force. And then in 1994, we saw this happen, which was the comic book carded X-Men figures. They changed the back of the card into this X-Men Wolverine logo, which ushered in a new era of Toybiz in 1994. So for 5 years,
Yeah.
from 89 to 94, Toybiz was kind of doing their thing. And I think they really doubled down on themselves now. So what happened at this era is Marvel bought 40 or 51% of the company in exchange that Toybiz could use any character they wanted without paying royalties, which meant they could go
Right.
deep and wide in these toy lines. And at the same time, X-Men the cartoon was just doing gangbusters. Like, no, it was a runaway hit. No one thought it was going to be able to do what it did, and it did it so well. It, alongside the Batman the Animated Series, said to TV companies, superhero cartoons were the future. They were the thing. So in 1994, we got an onslaught of Marvel cartoons, and our enjoyment. And so the first one we're going to be looking at here today is the Fantastic Four, which was the first one I saw. It aired as something called part of the Marvel Action Hour with Iron Man. And then Spider-Man, the animated series, also dropped that year, but it was on Fox Kids. So it was a different, it wasn't part of the Marvel Action Hour, it was its own thing.
Right.
What a year. And I remember the moment specifically where I was sitting down on Saturday morning with my Fruit Loops. And you put it on, and in September, all the new shows would come on, and I said, okay, I guess we're going to have a Fantastic Four show. But Stan Lee did the opening. He was like, hey, true listeners, Stan the Man here, Marvel Action Hour. Today, and he would open up every episode with, like, on this exciting adventure of Fantastic Four. And it really
Excelsior.
It made it feel special, and it made it feel like that guy is actually one of us. Like, he's a fan of this stuff. Like, he loves the stuff like we love it. He's not just a corporate guy who's producing stuff. He actually, he wants to know what's happening with the Fantastic Four. So I distinctly remember that, and this coming out. And I remember thinking to myself, well, they're going to make toys. How are they going to make a Human Torch toy? That was my big question. How are they going to do the flame on effect? What's it going to look? Because, hey, brother.
How are you, buddy? I choose not to choose.
I was going to say, one of us is handsomer, but we're not going to go down that road.
No.
But I remember thinking, how are they going to do the Flame On series? Because the Human Torch we had already was just like the orange flaming guy who, unless he was just always on fire, he couldn't have regular interactions. So it's like, how are they going to do that? And so I remember going...
Was this the first time that they incorporated the Human Torch into the cartoon?
Yes, before this
he wasn't
Herbie.
Right. But he wasn't in any cartoon before?
No.
The Herbie one? Oh,
no.
Gotcha.
So I remember being excited about that. I remember being in the car going to Thunder Bay with my parents. And again, like we talked about it, you're at the age of like 12, 13. You're like, do I go to the toy aisle? Who's going to see me there?
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I went to the toy aisle. It was the week. So this premiered on one Saturday, and the following Saturday we went to Thunder Bay. And there they were, the Toybiz Fantastic Four toys on the shelf. And I wanted to see if my question would be answered. How are they going to do the Human Torch toy? And let's see if I got my answer. Because we dive right in here, and our first figure is Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, you'll notice here, the first time you actually see, it's the animated series toy line.
Yeah.
Right? It's unmistakably, this is attached to the show. It even has the Marvel Action Hour logo on there. And so it's definitely, these are toys of the show. And if you remember the first Marvel superheroes, Mr. Fantastic, hey, Tej.
Hey, Tej.
He left a lot to be desired. He had that weird gimmick. Rough. So it's always interesting, even to today, how the new Fantastic Four movie coming out, how are they going to do Reed's action figures? I don't think there's ever been a great way to do it. I imagine with Marvel Legends, it'll be like snap and swap arms. They'll pop them off.
Yeah.
But for the kids line that they're going to release, I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be very interesting to see. What this figure did was they had traditional hard plastic head, torso, and legs, and gloves, but rubbery, stretchy arms.
Yeah.
Which I think is a neat way to tackle it. I think it's a good compromise. He's got quite the power stance going on there. He really looks less like a scientist and more like a luchador wrestler with his stance there.
True.
And I also think it's interesting with Mr. Fantastic, who never had any accessories per se. What do you give him? They give him this battle harness, which makes him look like Nick Fury, I think.
Yeah. It's not. If it was like a little like jetpack thingy for space, that would make more sense. But he'd often throw on little gadgets and gizmos, so I don't hate it. But it's the gimmick, I think, is probably it's worlds above what we've got before. And I think I remember saying that for its time, that original Mr. Fantastic, what else could they do? Right? You make the things extend, like Apocalypse, right? It's just like it's not a great look because you got little pegs that sort of make them look a little bit janky. But to have like a mix of the who was that Armstrong guy?
Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch Armstrong, of course, it's in the name. Stretch Armstrong. Have a little bit of Stretch Armstrong. Who's that Stretch Armstrong? Yeah, who's that guy? Stretch. Anyway, I did have this figure, and I was so pumped. Like, I think this era of Fantastic Four comics was great.
Yep.
And Mr. Fantastic was a little more of a tough guy than a nerdy scientist. Like, he had some attitude on him during this time. And I think the Invisible Woman was a little bit more revealing in those times too.
Yes.
Didn't do that outfit in the cartoon, but I remember the comic being like, okay, I could read this. Ant-Man was part of the team at one point.
I'm reading
so I had
of the articles.
Yeah, I'm reading it. It's high end art. Anyway, I had this one, and I remember thinking how happy I was that he could look and display like a regular action figure.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to stretch out the arms, I don't recall exactly how far they stretched, but I don't think they stretched too far. Like, I think they were just a little stretch on it.
The danger of this hybrid is that for a 6-year-old, I don't know how long those arms are going to last.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I know they brought out like a proper, like during this Fantastic Four movie that they did. I know they brought out like a Stretch Armstrong version of Mr. Fantastic, which was all stretch. But I liked it. I liked the gimmick, and it was good enough that it was not. It didn't look weird. And
no. This is a great swing.
Yeah, so anything with Stan Lee in it was always a plus for me. Particularly reading the comics and when he was doing his the soapbox. Oh, loved that guy. Rest in peace. Yeah. But for a Mr. Fantastic with stretchy arms, I'm gonna out the gate. I'm gonna give this guy a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no,
He's not too bulky. Like, he's not too muscular.
He's unmistakably Fantastic Four. He's got a great head sculpt, and like you say, at the end of the day, he's just a basic figure that works for us. Even the gimmick of this little vest, you can make it be. It's so indescript. It can be anything he needs it to be. Yep. Big science pack, doesn't matter. At the bottom of the sea with cable. Well, this is going to make it work. He can use.
Oh, that. I was able to upload that. So.
We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below until we strike bottom inside the two sunkers. Whirling straight through the channel to Oslo we'll go.
So it could always be worse.
It could always be worse. No matter how toy busy you are, it could always be worse.
It could always be worse.
10.8, like this is high. This is high marks here.
Yeah.
So then
definitely.
Now remember, this is And this is the quandary of this wave that I've discovered. This is wave 1. And so we're going to go through the figures, then we're going to talk about why we're seeing what we're seeing after. The next figure here is Black Bolt.
Yes.
All right. So now a clean, comic accurate version of Black Bolt. Didn't elaborate on his outfit at all. He's got the Silverhawks gimmick where he's got extendo arms with there's a little button on his belt there, the diamond button.
Yep.
And did you ever think you were going to get a Black Bolt action figure?
No. So I think what the cartoon did was it introduced characters that were popular in the comics before this toy line came out, but weren't necessarily in the comics much at this time. I don't remember Black Bolt being in the comics much at all during this time, and I think my first introduction to the character was probably the Fantastic Four cartoon.
Yeah.
And then going back and picking up old copies of the Fantastic Four or other comic books where he would show up in. I was like, oh, okay, now I know who this character is. But yeah, he was such, for that time, like we see him all over the place now, but for that time it was a pretty deep cut, I reckon.
Yeah. And he looks great. So I think what the Fantastic Four cartoon did as well is it had like 4 or 5 episode arcs, which we never really saw.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
was great. I guess X-Men kind of introduced that for the first time. But because the toy line could go anywhere they wanted with characters, you saw it wasn't just a Fantastic Four adventure. It was always like
Right.
the Fantastic Four guest starring a plethora of heroes. And you saw that in Iron Man, you saw that in X-Men and Spider-Man. There was no shying away from like guest star the Punisher, right?
Yeah. And it was it felt like a joint universe for the first time. These cartoons were all coming together.
Yeah.
And in those, you saw bits and pieces of that in the X-Men, but it wasn't until these cartoons that you really start to see the mix.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love the card too. Like I know it's a basic Fantastic Four card for all these fellas, but
it works. It suddenly gives the hint of like cosmic origins and cosmic threat, right? It does that very, very well. So then moving on. Sorry.
Well, I'm gonna give Black Bolt again. That's a 10 out of 10 for me too. I cannot fault him for anything.
I wouldn't change.
No ridiculous accessory. Nah.
No.
Perfect.
The only thing they could have added would be the Banshee whistle, because when he opens his mouth and everything just destroys it.
Yeah.
But
nah,
I don't think
I'm glad he didn't have it.
Just do that with your imagination.
That's right.
That's every action figure's best accessory is your imagination.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here we go with Dr.
Oh dear. How are you? I made this. Good to see you, buddy.
So this is coming off the back of the Toybiz Doctor Doom, which had the spinorama arm, like all the blades and wheels and things in there. This one had a projectile shooting arm, like his arm would be a missile; it would fire off.
Why?
You've given. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Oh, that's true. How good is Hell on Wheels? Bloody love that show.
Yeah.
Oh, Reed gets 8.5, Black Bolt an 8. Interesting.
That's dangerously close to a low 7, Gaz.
I thought it was high 7s, low 8s.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's this Doctor Doom. He looks he looks good. He looks good as a figure. I always liked fabric capes. That was always my bread and butter. And the missile firing arm reduces the play so much for me, because first off, he's got a stupid button on his arm, and secondly, like he can't. It's just like using him in regular scenarios where he's not shooting his missile off his arm always became cumbersome.
Yeah. So I like how they've sculpted that skirt piece though. Like it's still, you're able to move him around and articulate him. I think that's pretty good. Everything on one side looks great, and then you look over to the other side, and it's like, and now I'm looking at this as an adult, obviously, right? These are kids' action figures, but even I don't know. That's just it doesn't even seem appropriate for Doctor Doom.
Just put the projectile in the gun you gave him. Like, you gave him a gun.
Yeah.
Just put it in there.
Yeah. He didn't have a was it grenadier, grenadizer, rocket powered grenadizer punch. Say that 10 times.
I will not.
Grandizer? What am I missing? It's late.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with this word. Maybe we just both got owned by Gaz here.
Grandizer's rocket power. Grandizer.
I'm gonna Google this real quick. We're gonna pull a page out of the
Gas book. It's like an old man trying to figure out. It's like, what's this grandizer? What a grenadier? Grenadizer? What is that? Back in my day, Doctor Doom didn't shoot things at us. Huh?
He's talking about. I got you now, Gaz. Yep, good job. So the old Shogun Warrior robots. Grendizer had a rocket arm. So
I remember that now.
yeah,
I know the show. Don't be sad. We know it now. We know it.
When we open our next show called Toy Hunt Tales, where we sit around and just talk about cool experiences we had on toy hunts, I got a great Shogun Warrior story.
Perfect.
All right, so Dr. Doom, I'm gonna give him an 8 because he looks so good as a sculpt, but loses points on the stupid arm and the plastic cape.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 7. Like I don't hate it, but I don't like it enough to give it I'll give it a high 7.
There you go, a high 7.
Yeah. Oh, Kaz, I know the imagery of it. The names escape me.
Right.
It's a 7.5. Forgiveness. We'll have to do a special show to do with Grandizer.
All Japanese robots welcome.
That's right.
So let me get this fellow.
Yeah.
And I hate this character. I hate the way he looks. I hate every action figure of him. I just think you've got 4 super-powered scientists that could and then this guy's gonna threaten them? The Mole Man? Like Danny DeVito in sunglasses? Like, come on. Like, what are we talking about here? Don't worry, I got stick spinning action. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I hate it. I hate it so much. Why was this?
I don't hate it.
Oh, I hate it.
I don't hate it that much.
I like with a little ghoul. Got a little buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time we see a little buddy actually get some paint ops, right? Every other
true.
No paint ops. We'll give him points for that. He looks like he did in the comic books, but that just looks like an old man in a jogging suit. Like, he looks like he's lost all hope in his life.
Well, I like that he's got the Grandizer spinning arm action. That was definitely. Remember that, Gaz? Does that get me any points?
So also, I hated any action figure that had non-symmetrical arms due to features. So this guy's got one elbow that works, one straight spinny arm. Out of here. This guy gets a 1.
How are you, Dale?
He gets a no, that's wrong. Gonna give him a 3 because he's comic accurate looking, maybe a little actually out of scale, like he's maybe bigger than he should be, and he gets 1 point for having a little ghoul. So I'm gonna give him a 3.
So you're gonna give him a 3. Well, I don't.
No kid wanted this for his birthday.
Maybe this will gain it an extra point. Maybe you'll bump it up to 4. But how you going, Dale? Dale's got Doctor Doom, the Mole Man, Black Bolt, and the Silver Surface. Cool.
Oh, nice.
Super Scroll and the Wizard. Oh no! Oh dear. I'm getting closer. Now, will this give you an extra point, right? Because from this angle, he kind of looks like a little Stan Lee.
Yeah. All I see is Danny DeVito from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Stanley DeVito?
Stanley DeVito. That's the name of my high school.
Okay.
Stanley DeVito.
I thought it was. I also don't like this guy. I've never liked the guy in the comic, ever. I love the concept. I love the concept of it, right? But I think the Simpsons Hans Moleman. I think that character encapsulates how people should think and feel about this guy. Like, he is absolutely not any threat whatsoever to the Fantastic Four.
No. He's not a threat to you or me.
No, that's right. And twisting combat staff action just means that he breaks his wrist, right, to spin around. But I look. At least they're smart enough to at least put a little mole person with him.
Mm-hmm.
You're generous by giving it a 3.
Yeah, I hate it.
I don't even like it enough to think of anything higher than a 1. Like, it's the character. It looks like the character, but the gimmick is dumb, and the action is worse.
1 point for comic accuracy and 1 point for a little dude.
No, I'm just going to give him 1 point. But I think if it didn't have the gimmick and it was just articulated on both sides, that would help it.
Yep.
Not by much, but a little. And at least then it.
This figure is a playset throw-in. So give me a Fantastic Four Battle Street playset and throw this in as the figure that comes with it. Then he's got some value.
Yeah, no capes.
The Underminer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you know what they say. Big feet and twisting, twirling combat staff action.
But if you didn't know who this was in the comic book, and I showed you this figure...
You wouldn't want it.
No, but just showed you this figure loose. And I said, Zazel, is this from the Toybiz Marvel line or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? What would you say?
Yeah, true.
One of those weirdo humans from the Turtles. Like, if I said, this is the Neutrino's stepdad.
Steptrino. Yeah, it's so dumb. I never had this one because it was stupid. But I understand that it's one of the original baddies for the Fantastic Four. Maybe it was, who was the very first one? The creature comes out of the ground in the first Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
was that because of the Mole Man?
I think it was because of the Mole Man. And that was in the animated series opening, right? When they're in their regular clothes fighting that guy?
Yeah, just a 1. But
just a 1.
I like that they were nice enough to give you a little minion to go with it.
Right.
Probably should have come with more. Right? Get rid of the gimmick and just give him 2 more minions. 3 minions total and a Mole Man.
Then it's essentially a playset. I dig that.
Right. Yeah. But it's still garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I got a thing for that. Hang on a second.
We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below, until we strike bottom inside the 2 sunkers. Whirling straight through the channel to Oslo we'll go.
I heard a rumor that there's going to be a Ron Con exclusive of a Deep Sea Mole Man figure that we're gonna...
No helmet required. Oh, man.
No helmet required. Yeah, he's not a threat to anything. So I give him a 3. You give him a 1.
I give him a 1.
Either way, not even close to a 7.
Funnily enough, though, there was, I think there were later Mole Men action figures that were rare, and people wanted them because they were rare. So all of a sudden, people are paying big money for Mole Man.
But look at this glory.
Oh, Gaz, you'll love this one.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All that cosmic dust.
A vac metal chromed Silver Surfer with no silly gimmick, a sweet surfboard. This is all we wanted. Now, I'm going to say He's appropriately muscular.
Yes.
And even a bit of a better figure than the Marvel Chrome Silver Surfer we got, who's just kind of a generic body.
Mm. Yep.
And that real smooth face. So I think this is maybe figure of the line for me. The only thing I don't dig is his like weird surfer arm.
Yeah, but it works on him. Could you imagine giving that word surfer arm to anybody else? That would be ridiculous.
It'd be ridiculous. With him, it works.
With him, it works. But you know what else can do that pose?
What's that?
Regular articulation and a wrist that swivels can do that same thing. You know. But I like that. See, now I understand that the board has the you slip the feet in, but it's got like that sculpting on the board to make it look like his feet's on the top of it.
Yeah.
I remember trying to explain that to my younger brother. He's like, "Why is his feet slipping?" I was like, "No, that's his feet. We've got to imagine that he's on it, and that bump on there that's supposed to represent his feet." Plus 100, hey, blah 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 plus. Why would he need to though, Wes? Why would he need to? If you've got the Silver Surfer, he's always surfing.
Yeah, I always loved that his power was so vague. What's his power? Power cosmic. What can he do?
Power cosmic, man.
Just whatever.
I remember. I saw a picture from, I think it was Infinity Crusade, where he absorbed all of this energy from, I think, the sun, and he was like all hulked out, and then he was coming back towards the planet like a missile. I thought that was pretty cool. So but pretty.
The trading cards that came out in like '93, those Marvel trading cards. Did you collect those? Remember the
absolutely
the Alex Ross style painted ones that were like the rare ones?
Yeah, the flare cards.
And there was one of Silver Surfer where it was just like these lines that showed where his board was, and it just gave the image that he was traveling so like faster than it was incredible. It's my favorite one of those cards.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones was the Punisher. I don't know if it was the same line. I don't think this is the same as Iceman. I think Iceman was vastly different. But there was a Punisher card, but it had like 1 foot off a building, and it had like a rocket launcher. It's like 1 foot off. I was like, he's going over that building. Anyway, I'll have to find that issue for later. A Galactic Hang 10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Good stuff. If you could share it with the rest of us, we'd love to see it. But this figure is definitely, I had this in my collection, absolutely loved it. In fact, I loved it enough to treasure it. I had this thing, I only did it, so when Halloween came along, I had a Spider-Man, and I got a bunch of fake web, and I put Spider-Man hanging off the ceiling because he's Spider-Man webbing, right? And at that time, that was the most effort I ever put into displaying my toys. Everyone else just sort of stood there. But I was like, Spider-Man's got to swing. But for the Silver Surfer, he had to be flying. So I had a little bit of string. It might have even been fishing line.
That's the stuff.
Tacked it onto the roof. And I would just look up at it and be just in awe that I had an awesome Silver Surfer in my collection. A little disappointed, but I'm not going to go into it. A little disappointed that the Silver Surfer is not Norrin Rad in the new upcoming movie.
To go back to my theory, I think that the female Silver Surfer is going to be of that universe, and when they come to the cinematic universe, they're going to need to contact our Silver Surfer, who will be played by Vin Diesel.
Okay. Vin Diesel gets 2 roles in the MCU. Okay, good. This is a 100 out of 10.
Yeah, no, perfect figure. I'm going to say like figure of the line. Like if you walked in and looking for a Fantastic Four figure, I think, and you could only afford one, this is the one you're pulling out.
Yeah, Infinity. Yeah, if I was going to go, so at this, I had my first job. So I was saving money, and now the first thing I ever bought was a tin of Milo. I gave you some of that, remember?
Do I remember? Do I remember the Milo? Because of you and Nate, I now have a Milo at home and a Milo at work, just in case I need a Milo.
Perfect.
Also, I want to say, I'm a rule guy, so the instructions on the Milo are a little vague. And so then I asked you, how do you do Milo? And you were like, mate, any way you want. And you just like, you said I could take a spoonful of it just natural, or I could put it in milk, or I could put it in hot milk or hot water. It was just mayhem. I said, how much? He said, however much you want. So I said, okay, Zazel's messing with me. There's got to be a video on the internet that tells me exactly how. There's got to be a YouTube tutorial on how to do Milo properly. There is no less than a dozen Milo videos of Australians doing exactly what you did. They're like, oh, mate, you can put rot in your mouth, or you can put it in the milk, and if you want, or more Milo if you want. And I was like, there is no right way to do this stuff.
There's no rule. Joe Fan's here on vacation. Thanks for tuning in on vacation. Enjoy your time, buddy.
Beautiful.
Thanks for dropping in. 9.5. 9.95. So
I think if you tens only for Macross transforming toys. That's the only toys in his life that get a full 10. Is a Valkyrie that transforms.
Pretty cool. So we'll give it 100. Oh, by the way, if you haven't got your Milo, just a spoonful of Milo helps the day go by. I don't know how the song goes. Anyway, but yeah, if you were only going to have one, and thankfully I had a job, so as a kid, I now have disposable income. Not a lot, because I'm only like 14, but I'm working for some pocket monies. So I was able to get the ones that I wanted. So I didn't get Mole Man, don't worry about it. But I did get Silver Surfer, Mr. Fantastic, all of the good characters. I was so stoked. And there was a bit of conversation with the parents. I was like, you don't want to save any for, a rainy day? And I'm like, you don't get it. Like, I've come out of the bush, living in the big city. We only had what we could have. I was like, this is what I would be saving money for. If I was going to spend money, this is what it would be on. Right. So, yeah, no, I'm good. This is what I want.
Can you do me a favor? I want to try something real quick. Can you just solo me for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. Put on the handsomer man.
I just want to see, because of my green screen, what will happen if I hold up a can of Milo?
That's great.
It's just a floating Milo logo.
Get a spoon. Eat it.
Product placement. The Invisible Woman Milo edition.
Love it.
There you go. That's my trick for the day.
All right. You did well. We knew you were a magician.
What was your first job you had? My first job was working in Dorian, Ontario at an amethyst mine.
Huh. Okay. That beats out mine. My first job was working at a fresh food market with my mum.
That's a great job too.
Yeah. It was, I don't know if it was good, but I learned how to cut just the right amount off to make it look presentable of a vegetable.
I worked at the amethyst mine all summer so I could buy a video camera so I could make movies. And so in 1995, I bought a video camera, which I still have, an 8mm video camera. I'm like, this is my first big purchase. I can't just get rid of it.
Nice.
So, moving on from perfection.
Yes.
We come to Terrax, who was the Herald of Galactus after Silver Surfer said, I'm out of here. And so we're starting to see that more than a Fantastic Four action figure line, we're really getting like a cosmic action figure line, like almost a Silver Surfer toy line, right?
Well, you also, I mean, who's gonna pick up Mole Man if you can get Terrax? So I've got a confession to make. Cool. That was a confession to make. It's karaoke day. Secondhand bookshop would be a cool, fun hangout. If they're paid for it, even better. I used to pick up a lot of comic books back in the day from secondhand bookshops. I got a confession. I didn't have enough money working my measly fruit and veg job to get all the toys I wanted. So I wasn't able to pick up Terrax. But my little brother was easily swayed. And I told him all about Terrax, right? We stood there in the toy aisle. And I told him how awesome Terrax was as a character, how he was the another Herald of Galactus like the Silver Surfer was. And so my brother Adam, shout out to another Adam.
Yo!
Robert's here saying that Terrax looks exactly like the Legends version. Yeah, they're good throwbacks. Anyway, right to this...
on these Fantastic Four cards as well?
I think they did. They're definitely doing with the Spider-Man stuff. It's not bad, Wes. It's okay. We don't blame you. I think it's because... was this another Jack Kirby design? Like, Jack Kirby borrowed a lot of designs from DC. Actually, no, that's not fair. He created a lot of designs for DC and then brought them to Marvel and vice versa.
But also, like, he does... There is a Marvel cosmic look. Like, if I said to you this was... Thanos' brother, or Thanos'
you'd believe it.
You'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Or if this is Thanos.
Yeah.
So my brother got it, and he loved it, which was great because I didn't feel so guilty talking him into buying a toy for a character he didn't, because he wasn't collecting comic books. Like, he didn't know. So I was telling him about the character because I was like, man, we can have these galactic wars. I can have Silver Surfer, you can have Terrax, and we can just have these galactic style battles. It's not just in the city of New York. This is space stuff. Like back when, how dumb was it when the Silver Surfer couldn't even leave the atmosphere of Earth in the comics? It's like, what the hell's he gonna do? Dumb. Anyway, galactic action figure adventures. We could, and he's like, oh, okay, that sounds fun, and it was fun. In fact, he really did enjoy the character, and when there were like trading cards of Terrax, he'd go, oh, I've got the guy. So I think I inadvertently created a passion for Terrax, and I reckon
absolutely love that he came with a meteor he could ride around on.
Yeah, I think he did, and I thought as an accessory that it was brilliant. Yeah, I thought it was great. So for the nostalgia alone of me and my little brother playing Galactic Wars, I've got to give this guy another 100 out of 10.
Yeah, no, this is a brilliant thing. I love it. I think the comic accuracy of these figures is incredible to me.
Yeah.
And the fact that he comes with like a little ride-on meteor, I love that. And I think
I'm sorry to interrupt the show. I'm gonna do a little video on my phone and just send it to my brother. I know we're live, but I'm going to send this to my brother on Messenger. It's like, hey Adam, I'm hanging out with my other friend Adam. And we're just talking about... We're just talking about that time you picked up the Terrax Marvel figure. We had those cool galactic action figure wars. So anyway, I was thinking of you. Thought I'd send this to you. We're live, so I got to go. Love you. Bye.
I like that you said that you remember the time that you picked up the Terrax figure, not that time that you swindled him into buying a Terrax figure.
Now, here's the thing, Adam. He's going to come back and he's either going to say, yes, I remember that, or he's going to say, didn't you convince me to get that toy? So, let's...
Here we go.
Anyway, sent.
Yeah, I think
100 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Which is going to be interesting for my final thoughts on this wave. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for this guy, absolutely. And I don't think there's going to be much more you do to improve this.
No,
in my mind.
I agree. Even comes with a cool axe.
It even comes with a cool axe. Okay, 1 second here. I'm being a little bit creative here. I want to try something real quick. So, what did you feel about Terrax when the he was replaced, like he replaced Silver Surfer. What'd you like? Not an action figure scale, but on a scale of 1 to 10 on Heralds of Galactus, what would you give him?
As far as Heralds are concerned, I give him third place because I go Silver Surfer, and then it's Fire Lord.
Fire Lord?
And then is it Fire Lord? Am I?
So my favorite,
the what?
Other than Silver Surfer, was Nova.
Ah.
Oh, no love for Nova, eh?
Well, what was so good about Nova?
I know, she's just cool. She's just cool, man.
So his name was Fire Lord, right? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, he had this cool stick that had flames on either side of it. He had no qualms going up against Spider-Man for some reason, but I just thought that imagery was pretty cool, right? He's got the Silver Surfer's going through the cosmic waves on a surfboard, but the fire guy is just like holding onto the stick, plowing through the stars, with the flames bellowing on the side. I just thought that was cool. I don't know, Nova was, I don't know, never really hit my radar. Oh, see, look. Anyway, he's come back with... I can't prove it, but he's come back with definitely one of my favorite toys. So there you go. Mission passed. I don't know, what's it? Successful.
Mission accomplished, I think, is what you're looking for.
That's it. Yeah, Fire Lord. Yeah. I think I was getting confused by Star Lord for a second. So
Star Lord was never a Herald of Galactus. Imagine he was.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Was Terrax second?
Yeah, Terrax was second because as soon as Silver Surfer left, Terrax was the next guy.
Gotcha.
But Terrax had so many ambitions of his own, we'll say, that it didn't work out well for him.
So who was after?
Heralds didn't last long, did they? They didn't have a big shelf life.
Well, you're only as useful as you're only as important as you are useful to Galactus, right? If you can't find him sustenance, or if you start to rebel, well then, you know what surprises me is the amount of heralds that were able to live after going up against Galactus.
Yeah,
that's a bit crazy.
I don't think he killed any of them, did he?
I mean, not from the years I was collecting. They all just sort of rebelled, and it was always cool to see ex-heralds coming up against each other. Interesting that you thought Nova was number 2, though.
Right? They're like, oh, we've all had the same psychological abuse, so
right, yeah.
We'll hang out with each other. So okay, so moving on from Terrax here. Look at this. I don't care who you are. You walk into the toy store and see this guy hanging on the shelves, and all of a sudden you're like, I gotta take that guy home. We had a Thing figure in the Marvel line, but one this accurate and this to scale with articulated knees and elbows and this power punch action. Come on, how much did you love this figure?
This was the first Thing action figure that I had in my collection, and this is deep in the popularity of the Thing. Like, he just had his own it come out of his own comic book. He'd been a star of his own cartoon at one point.
Yeah. Ring, do your thing.
Do your thing. He also, I feel, is in this action figure is probably his most iconic look. Yeah. So the briefs, the brow.
The brow and just the colors against that card back.
Yeah. They're given the blue eyes. This was the Thing in my collection. In fact, later on you're going to see a different Thing down the line, and I refused to pick up the next Thing. My older brother Todd got it, so he had that Thing, but I was like, nah, this is no way an improvement on this other Thing that I have in my collection. And I had this Thing front and center with the Incredible Hulk that came out. I'll show you which version of the Hulk when we get to the Hulk cartoon / toy figures, but this guy and the Hulk were the two figures that became front and center. They pushed back the X-Men. Wolverine was a bit to the side at this point. Wolverine used to be front and center, but in comes the Thing and the Hulk, and they're prominent in the front. This was probably my favorite toy for a while, for a long while. Like, considering that I still considered this guy to be better than other Thing figures that came out later on.
Yeah. When the Marvel Legends version of this came out on the card back, just the color scheme was so nostalgic. And you know me, I'm a very staunch no modern figure collector.
Yeah.
At least 3 times I had that figure in my hand being like, oh, look how cool this is. Look how cool. Zazel, I just want to say one thing. I have a little guest host with me right here, flying in.
With Solo? Solo you. Hang on a second.
Yeah, so the Silver Surfer is just flying in here magically. My hand under him.
Love it.
My hand under him is just there for support, but he's just he's going to be co-hosting the next run of Toybiz with us. Silver Surfer there, just floating around, doing his thing.
Looks like you're greeting him in Italian style.
That's right. Hey, Silver Surfer, how's it going? Don't fall over. Oh no, don't fall over.
Oh.
So my brain's been unlocked with this green screen capabilities. We're gonna be having a lot of fun lately.
That's so good. That's so good.
I'm essentially doing a puppet show now on the Toybiz. It's gonna become Adam's green screen puppet show.
We could do that. This is the 10 out of 10 figure, and it was my favorite Thing figure. I don't think I ever got another Ben Grimm / Thing figure until Marvel Legends. So the fact that this was my one and done Thing figure shows how
first Marvel Legends, that huge thing that came out,
yeah,
that was incredible.
It was so good.
Yeah. All right.
Props to Adam.
Moving on here. Here's the lineup. Here's what we get from the Fantastic Four Wave 1. So my question of what are they going to do with the Human Torch? I don't know yet because I can't get the 4 figures. There's no Fantastic Four here. And so what we're seeing, though, is an evolution in the way Toybiz is doing their business strategy. Whereas we looked at X-Men and X-Force, for that matter, when it came out, a good heavy hitter team was released first. Of both villains and heroes. And here you can see them implying the more modern idea of like, okay, well, we got to save somebody for Wave 2. We've got to save some heavy hitters for what's coming up. And so iconic characters here, but to have Black Bolt and Mole Man and Terrax in Wave 1 with the Fantastic Four, to me seemed a bit odd. The fact that we didn't get the four main heroes in the first wave, I thought was a bit strange. I think if you would have just had the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, put Mole Man in there. If you're gonna have a Mole Man figure, put him in there for Wave 1 because he's a villain, and Silver Surfer. That's a great Wave 1. The kid's gonna buy every one of those action figures.
Yeah, I agree. I think what we've got here is I think Mole Man is just like which characters do we have and who can we do cheap?
Yeah.
So he's just like a placeholder. I can't imagine anyone got that figure, particularly because it was the 90s, right? Mole Man wasn't even very, very prominent. People are probably seeing him for the first time in the cartoon, and no kid's going to go, Mole Man, please. No. When you've got this other selection of characters, it's a tough one because I remember everyone here was in my collection except Mole Man.
Right.
But I remember being especially excited for Thing, Silver Surfer, and Mr. Fantastic. As cool as Black Bolt is, I was happy to have him as a collector. I was happy to have him. But those 3 were like top tier toys.
And also, if being honest, Black Bolt is cooler in 2024 than he was in 1994.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It was never the coolest. Great idea for a power set, but still. The Doctor Doom is a disappointment. Mole Man is I get what you were saying with like if you're gonna do him, get him out there. Terrax looks great though, doesn't he?
Well, it's funny. Black Bolt, Terrax, Thing, Silver Surfer, and Reed all got 10 out of 10s, like all 10 out of 10s. And Doom and Mole Man got low marks. But as an assortment, I give it like a 6. To me, to have Wave 1 of the Fantastic Four, you gotta have the 4.
So I would take out Mole Man for the Human Torch. And we'll have a look at I think the Human Torch comes out the next one, right? And we'll look at some disappointment there. But then, so I take him out. And I guess if you're gonna, so who do you remove other than maybe Black Bolt, who I think is a 10 out of 10 character?
Yeah.
Who do you remove? Who do you remove for the Invisible Woman? Because I mean, maybe Terrax. Terrax is a 10 out of 10 for me too.
So Terrax. So here's the thing: if you're gonna have Silver Surfer, you need to have Terrax. Those two need to be released in the same wave. So to me, it's got to be Black Bolt. Save Black Bolt and then release variations on the Fantastic Four, like a couple different variations, and then like give me more of the Inhumans.
Did they do another Doctor Doom?
I don't think so.
Because I remember having this Doom and being disappointed with the gimmick.
This figure could be perfect for
a Doombot.
If a Doombot. Release this guy as a Doombot, and then a fully articulated, a little bigger Doctor Doom. I'll buy 4 of them. That having a Doombot with his arm that shoots that makes sense.
Yeah, not for actual Doctor Doom.
No.
But so you've got to have Doctor Doom. Like a complete Fantastic Four set, in my mind, a complete set, if you were never going to do Wave 2 or onwards, it would be Mr. Fantastic, Thing, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, Silver Surfer, and Doctor Doom. So how many is that? 6 characters?
Yeah.
That leaves 1 spot open. I can't math right now. It's so late.
I can't
but
math.
That's those 4 characters, Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom, would be a perfect Wave 1 if you never got any other waves in the line.
Right.
So I guess anything else is cherry. But I get at this point though, we're looking at Toybiz. You look at the last few waves of X-Men Toybiz, and you could see that they were being pretty funky with their waves too. And I think this is a monetary thing, where they're saying let's stretch this wave out so that people keep coming back. And it's something that they still did do for a while. They did. You could not get a full Fantastic Four set in Legends for a while, but now they're starting to do full waves of specific characters. Oh, the Baxter Building is going down.
No, sorry. I just had a little glitch with the camera. I'm having some camera issues here, but we're making it work. Yeah. So
anyway,
again, I would take 1 less figure in the wave if I got to have all 4 Fantastic Four members.
Yeah.
Right. So Zazel.
I'm
throwing a curveball at you, buddy.
Oh.
We haven't discussed this yet.
Yeah.
But we're changing the format of the show next week.
Can't do it next week, my friend.
Well, the next episode, we're changing the format. All right.
Yeah, we're out of here for a while.
I'm excited about that. You guys are gonna be living it up.
So I'm intrigued.
Surfing.
I'm intrigued to find out.
You're gonna be surfing the cosmos, like my good friend Norn Rad here, who has the cosmic power to go right through solid objects.
Nice.
If he needs to, right? Back again. Never too old to play with your toys. Next episode, buddy, we're doing this. We're going to take a look at 2 waves, and we're going to see which wave did it better. Because there's such a toys coming out. We got to be able to look at more than 1 wave at a time. And so more X-Men coming out. But next week, we're going to look at Iron Man Wave 1, Spider-Man Wave 1, and then see who did it better. Because these are 2 very different takes on toy lines.
This is a great idea. I'm hoping poor Tony Stark's going to get some redemption from his last stupid figure.
Hot Tub Tony.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pumped. Toybiz Death Battle.
Toybiz Death Battle. That's what's going to happen. And so so right now, without any prep work, which first wave do you think is better? Iron Man or Spider-Man?
I think Spider-Man.
So I'm going to go, again, I've done no prep work for this yet. I'm going to go Iron Man, just because from what I remember, the play gimmick was really cool.
How are you, Spacey? What'd you miss? You missed everything. But that's all right.
You know what you missed, Spacey? You missed another space guy who just flies around with me, Silver Surfer. And he's like, I have the power to create the Milo logo. Power calls me.
That's the whole show now.
Spacey. I've turned this into a puppet show.
All right, it's going to be friend against friend, the wave against wave, Spider-Man against Iron Man. Who's going to come out on top? I guess we will need some audience participation.
Yep.
Maybe Gaz can be the a referee. Gaz can be the guest referee. Yeah, please moderate, Gaz. He looks rad. How did we not make that joke yet?
Maybe we should go on to Geek Dad Life and get Jay to moderate our debate about which is better.
Gosh. Remember those days? Just when fighting on the internet seemed cool.
It never seemed cool.
No, it didn't.
Yeah. So Spacey's going to watch the replay. That's good because there's some great toys here. None as good as the Space Commander from Palatoy's Action Force.
Oh, true. Make sure you get one of those in your collection.
Make sure you get one of those in your collection. I'm going to be tackling some more Action Force guys coming up. I got a couple more videos in the shoot. Having the studio at home now has allowed me to shoot B-roll and do some stuff kind of intermixed throughout the day. So I'm actually able to get videos out faster. So I've got a New Adventures of He-Man coming out. I got another Brave Star video coming out and some more Action Force stuff just off the top of my head.
Wow, that's a full force of entertainment coming your way. Speaking of which, I actually have your link in the description. So if people want to see more of Adam from Go Figure, check the link in the description. Go check it out now.
Check it out one time, won't you?
Nothing but magic happens over at Go Figure's channel, so please go check it out. Yippee! Oh yeah, we're pumped. We're pumped.
Attaboy.
Yeah, the figure stands are outstanding.
So I just uploaded all my Action Force 3D designs up to my cults page, so that'll be fun to see if anybody wants to take a stab at those. But yeah, the stands, it's funny. Just to not to talk about myself, but I will put like 3 hours of design time into a handgun for a RoboCop. And
Yeah.
15 minutes into making a stand, and people are like, "Oh, those stands are amazing."
Well, they do look good. Thanks, guys. They do look good, though.
Well. Yeah.
Those Action Force stands in particular, I think, are great. You nailed those.
Yeah, that was a fun one. They just kind of worked out well. I'm working on a Brave Star stand, but they're so big. Like Brave Star is so big that they don't really need a stand, and the stand to be effective has to be massive. It's like the Motu stands that you put their feet in, and they're so big that when you have the entire collection plus customs on your shelf, it's just like there's no room for these stands. Get them out of here.
I like some of those large action figure stands. There's like a clip around the back of the. I think those are pretty effective.
Yeah, those work nice, and you can get some neat flying poses and stuff out of those.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I just hate. You've seen the way I display my figures. I hate when one falls and then they all fall. So the creating stands thing, came out of necessity. But I'm working on something.
Hmm.
Tell me if this is crazy or not.
Okay, go for it.
To do a video just on stands for G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero, but they're called, I'm making them up, I've got 2 or 3 designed already, called action stands. And so they're a stand that fits 3 or 4 figures on it. And there's some like barrels and sandbags around. So it's kind of like a little axe. So you can clip them together and make a bigger display out of them. But each stand carries 4 figures.
I will grab some for my collection when I see you at RonCon.
Oh, RonCon. Who's excited about RonCon? We've got a number of things coming up. Ideas for RonCon.
I'm excited.
We're gonna do a live Zellas with the Fellas, where we're gonna go Color Challenge in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. We got something coming called the Vamp Ramp Project, so get excited about that. I know this is months away, but the excitement for these events is going to be so big, right? And then we're going to do a thing called Canadian Cuisine with Gaz and Zaz, where I take them and let them try specifically Canadian foods, and we put that live. It's going to be good. We're going to do some fun stuff, and then we're going to go to Joe Fest, and it's going to be fun as well. I think Zazel's frozen. All the talk of Canada had him freeze up like Frostbite and Avalanche and Snow Job and Sub-Zero, all those Frozen Joes, which I stand by. That Sub-Zero is my favorite of the Frozen Joes. But, we'll see what happens. Gaz is saying, wait, I'm testing what? Yeah, so Gaz, we're going to do the Canadian Cuisine Challenge, where I take you out and feed you. That sounds like a mother bird. I let you try Canadian specific food, and we're gonna be seeing that. And also start thinking of a vamp design for the Vamp Ramp Challenge. So we're gonna be doing that. I think Zazel went on vacation, and so
I'm
back, baby. All the talk of Canada froze up.
For some reason, I muted myself because I had the cough. Then as soon as I unmuted myself, I froze. Or I was so excited for your action stands trademark.
Action stands.
So excited for the action stands that it froze. Yeah, I froze with excitement.
That's good.
Thanks. So while we're plugging, do check out Gaz and Zaz. It'll be tomorrow morning for me, probably tonight for you fellas. Huge announcement for the happening on that show. Plus,
that's the farewell show, isn't it?
It is the farewell show, but there's a big announcement to come with it. I think it's pretty exciting. We have Spoon Killer dropping a little animation for us, a stop motion thing for us, which is going to be great. So check that out. Gaz and I will be welcoming people in. Whoever wants to jump in, we'll be putting. Oh, sorry, your hands up in the back there. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Speaking of stop motion, I just need to say this out there. Did you see the coolest thing in the world this week?
Oh, guess who's back?
Guess who's back, baby, and in greater numbers is Corbra Lang.
Yeah. Back. Corbra Lang. I've been enjoying his stuff.
If he's not involved in RonCon, then we've made a huge mistake, because he's merely an hour or so from me.
Speaking of cool dudes, G.I. Joe The Lost Chronicles is here. Hey-o! Really enjoy your stuff too, buddy. Sometimes when they do a premiere of a video, I feel like I'm sitting there by myself. So where is everybody? Jump in and check it out. It is a great channel.
Yeah.
The Lost Chronicles. Space Commander, I keep telling you would love this stuff. It's right up your alley. Same with you, Gaz. Go and check out G.I. Joe The Lost Chronicles.
They're as cool as a Silver Surfer green screen puppet.
Oh, gotta go one more.
One more time. Surfing through the skies. I am Silver Surfer. That's the song. That's his theme song.
Yeah, I loved it. What time is that in Australian? I think it's 10 a.m. for me. So I don't hit the link and go to the Go Figure. Not Go Figure. Go to Go Figure, definitely. Go to Go Figure. Link is in the description. But if you go to the, what's my channel called again?
The Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Click it for your own personal time zone. Check it out. It's our farewell episode. It's going to go out with a bang. Cheers, buddy. And Rolando, how are you?
Hello.
So what we've got happening for tomorrow's show is I will be dropping the StreamYard link in the chat. Adam, are you going to be able to make it?
When are you heading up for that? What time is that going up?
Oh, that's a good question. That's 8:30 maybe? Gaz, what time is it for you that we do that? It's 10 a.m. for me. Maybe 8:30 for you guys.
Yeah, the sticky wicket for me is that right now it's Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So and we have various Thanksgiving plans with a bunch of family and friends. So I will
bring them along.
Yeah, bring them along.
Bring them with. Give them all the StreamYard link.
Look at this. This is give them all. They're like, what's a gas? I'm like, listen. I will say, I was at the Lighthouse Cafe the other day, and you've met my friend Tara.
I have.
She's a beaut. She made a comment today. So I mentioned something about Gaz, and then I might have mentioned Hans Chow, and then I said, and then the Tinker, referring to Nate, and she said, "Why do all of your friends have cartoon names? Like, why do they all sound like cartoons?" And I said, "Well, because I've made better life choices than most."
True.
Right?
She's a funny one.
And then I got
makes a great cup of coffee.
I got a text message from Tara later that day, and she goes, "Our phones are definitely listening to us because I just got a friend suggestion for Hans Chow."
Nice. Everyone needs a bit of Hans Chow in their life.
Absolutely.
Do you need StreamYard? No, you just need to click the link. I think you've got to open it in Google Chrome or something. Anyway, so we'll be putting the link in the description if people in the chat want to jump on and say hi. We'll see how that goes. If you can, Adam, bring all your friends along.
Yep.
We're happy to see you. Or enjoy your Thanksgiving. Either way is good, buddy.
Either way is good.
But there's going to be some fun happening. We're just going to do some random, just chit-chat stuff like we like to do. And then I'll drop an announcement sometime during the show. And I think people who know will love it, and everyone else will just be really confused. So we'll see how we go.
I don't know if I know or I'm going to be confused, but I'm excited.
You'll know and be confused.
That's my sweet spot.
Yeah, I thought so. 11ish, yeah, okay. That's all good.
Okay,
all right,
so,
well,
before we go, I want to do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Take one more gander.
Yeah.
This guy, look at him.
Oh, what a beauty.
What a beauty. Just
same, buddy.
Just
that's for you, Gaz.
What a great line. What a great wave of figures.
I used that same action figure for my thumbnail, as you can see. But
yeah.
I did a naughty and mirrored it, so it's facing the wrong way, but you can't tell.
This is what he's supposed to look like. It's also mirrored.
Yes, we can. All right, I'll play it one more time, and then we'll head out of here.
All right.
But thanks, everyone, hanging in there. Check out Adam's link in the description. Catch us here again. Thanks for putting the show together, mate. And no matter what happens on the next show with Iron Man versus Spider-Man, I want you to know that I still love you, buddy. Even if you're
Is that a deep cut joke? Did you just make the best joke in the world?
And with that, maybe. Do I have to explain it?
Oh, that's great. I loved it.
Good. All right. Where's this thing for Gaz? Just for you, buddy. Here it is. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below, until we strike bottom inside the two sunkers. Whirling straight through the channel, to Oslo we'll go.